Hello friends and acquaintances, this is Taylor, and today I'm going to be doing another Twitter Topics video. You guys seem to like it when I do videos that get you more involved, and I really like it because it allows me to get really, directly answering your guys' questions, and I guess it's more of an illusion of getting involved with you guys, since it's obviously ridiculous for me to assume that by answering 15 or 20 topics that I'm somehow, relating to my audience as a whole. That would be foolish, but it is kind of cool just to connect on a minor basis like that. So if you guys want to get involved with this, check the link in the description of the video. That'll take you to my Twitter, in addition to the fact that I made a high five video, so for all of you clever bastards out there who are going to comment asking for a high five, you don't need to ask anymore. Just check the description. It's right there, man. No more comments. We don't have to comment about high fives ever again. Aren't you guys so happy? Yay! Yay! I only say that because every single video that I post, and obviously you guys couldn't tell because you guys don't watch the comment sections on my videos like I do, but I just get dozens and dozens of high five requests on every video, and finally, they're gone. Or hopefully they are. Anyway, so let's get involved with these Twitter questions. Number one, from JackST7309671. Thank you for asking me a question and having such an easily pronounceable name. Thanks, just having your whole goddamn phone number on the end there. All right, how you lost your religion. All right. Now, usually I like to reserve topics like religion and kind of put them off in their own video, just because it is a more in-depth topic, and I prefer to have an appropriate amount of time to allot for said topic, because that's just how I like to do things here on my channel. So, I don't want to get too into it, but I do want to say that the basics of it is that you have to understand that belief is not a choice. You can't choose what you believe. You can really try to change your beliefs consciously, but you really can't choose your belief. For example, I could choose to say I don't believe the Holocaust happened. I could say that till I'm blue in the face. Now, does that change the fact that deep down I realize that it happened and it's an undeniable historical truth? No, of course not. In the same way that it got to the point where I researched enough about Christianity that I could no longer believe it. It wasn't that I made the choice to stop believing, it's just that I could no longer maintain the belief in spite of all the contradictions and evidence to the contrary that I'd found. So that's the answer there. Skyline GFX wants me to talk about boobies. Man, that was a good change of pace. Boobies are pretty nice. I'm fine with that. It all depends on the context, though. I mean, family member boobies going to have to give a negative on that. Like sister's boobs going to have to give a negative on that, since that falls under family members. Don't know why I did that. That was pretty redundant, and I don't even have a sister. But, like not old, disgusting boobs. That's a good one. I really don't know how much longer I can go on this topic, but let's keep going. Jesus. Jackson Thomas. All right, so far we've had Jack Stevens, Steve Jackson, and Jackson Thomas. We've got a lot of Steves and Jacks out there, so that's so funny. Jack Stevens was the first question, and then Steve Jackson was the second one. What are the chances? And then Jackson again. Man, we're winning a lottery of Jacks. Jackson Thomas 1. Me as a child. What I was like as a child. I mean, as a kid, like really, really young, like I'm talking like below the age of 10, I was an annoying little shithead. Like, I was loud, I was obnoxious, it was either my way or the highway, and I was a complete little ingrate that was spoiled in every way imaginable. I just had everything my way. Like, if I didn't like it, I just made a scene about it until it was changed, or even worse, which is what I tend to do now, would just manipulate people into getting what I want. And so that was what I was like as a kid. I was an annoying little shithead, and had I seen myself, like if the 20-year-old version of me could see the 10-year-old version of me, I'd give myself a slap in the face and say to shape up and, fly straight. That's what I would say. No, probably not. I'd probably give him like a ruffle of the hair, or, you know what, I'd probably have a lot of questions to ask him, since, that'd be a really profound experience. That's really silly of me to assume that I'd scold myself given that opportunity. I'd want to know exactly what was happening in the mind of my 10-year-old head. I'd be telling him tons of shit that he wouldn't find out forever. And if I, told him all that info at the age of 10, when I went back to the future, then suddenly the version of me that was in the future would be like a total badass because he knew all that shit from the age of 10. God, that got off track fast. And when did time travel come into this picture? Nobody even asked about that. Just a little bit of good old imagination. All right, next one. SBauk1. How to make a good commentary. Honestly, when it comes to my content, I get a lot more praise than I get critique, which I'm thankful for. But at the same time, I have no delusions about the quality of my content. I'm not sitting up here pretending as though I'm spewing words of wisdom at every juncture, and you guys are just blessed to hear me speak. I don't have that delusion at all. I realize 100% that my content is not even amongst the best on YouTube. It's not even good, really. It's pretty mediocre by my standards. And so it feels kind of silly for people to ask me a question like that because I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer it. There are plenty of commentators that I watch, or not really watch regularly just because I spend, as a content producer, a lot more time producing the content than watching other people's. But of the people that I do watch, I can say without a doubt that their commentaries are much better than mine. People like Woody and T-Mart who put a lot more time into it. So if you want to know how to do a good commentary, I'd recommend going over to their channels because they've got it a lot more on lockdown than me. I kind of just get on here and talk. Like, if you haven't noticed, my channel is largely contingent on my ability to produce entertaining commentary as opposed to entertaining gameplay. I guess the main reason for that is that I'm more interesting than I am good at games, but also because I'm just simply not that great at video games. So I really had to learn to adapt early on in my commentary style to make up for the fact that no matter how hard I try, I simply can't post games like the Mark of J. I just can't. He gets ridiculous scores, and I could sit on Call of Duty all day, every day, and I just could not emulate that. Could not. So early on, I realized I had to differentiate myself along a different line. So I guess that's it's some convoluted way an answer to that question, but yeah, I would say a good summation of that is don't take my advice. Don't take my advice. My advice to you is to not take it. So there you go. npompey9. What do you study at college? I'm currently studying psychology and marketing. It's a pretty common pairing just because marketing as a whole is just kind of manipulating people's psychology and convincing them to buy things that they really don't need. That's really what marketing is. It's manufacturing a value to give people a value that likely they wouldn't have even realized they had unless you had provided it for them. So it's kind of a good pairing there. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do with it. It all depends on what opportunities are available outside of college, just because at this juncture in time, it doesn't seem as though much is going to be just, popping up for me. But, it's fine. No big deal. I'll find my way. Who knows? Maybe I'll just be a professional video game ranter on YouTube and just be a lone degenerate lunatic who just spends his life yelling on a camera, and I'll slowly get more and more insane, and my subscribers will slowly unsub as they realize the spiral of insanity that the formerly cogent commentator known as Mercadurka is sinking into. So that's how I'm feeling in that regard. God, what am I even talking about? I'm getting way off track with this shit. I'll answer a couple more. Bayless98. 98. God, I cannot even imagine that is the year you were born. That's the same year as my youngest brother, rather. That's crazy. It's not that much younger than me, like, in the scheme of things. Like, in 50 years, nobody's going to pay attention between someone born in 1991 and someone born in 1998. But for now, it's just so strange, weird how stuff like that pops up. But your question, Mr. Bayless98, is what is your opinion on slutty girls? I mean, I have the same opinion on slutty girls as I have on slutty guys. I mean, to each their own. I don't give a shit. Like, I suppose I'm even more in favor of slutty girls than slutty guys because I'm not homosexual or bisexual, and so I don't give a shit about slutty guys. But slutty girls, hell, go crazy. Be as slutty as you want. That is empowerment. You empower yourself as a woman by being as slutty as humanly imaginable. That's my advice to you, ladies of the crowd. Probably like 4 or 5 of you out there, All right. The Kikaku wants to know, if you had one wish, what would it be? And if you had one superpower, what would that be? All right. So I guess my wish can't be for a superpower. I guess it could be, but that'd be a waste of a wish. Well, if we're living in a world of wishes, like, by what means am I garnering this superpower? Like, do I get to wish for that one too? Do I get 2 wishes, but one wish has to be for a superpower? Is that the case? Because if that's the case, I'd like to revoke the superpower one and just allow that wish to be utilized for anything. Because if it's, like, given an opportunity, I'd rather have 2 wishes redeemable for anything than 1 for anything and 1 for a superpower. But hey, that's just me. Call me crazy. But as far as the superpower goes, I would want the ability to, I would just want to be incredibly, incredibly intelligent and have, like, telepathy and be able to manipulate people's minds. But the trick for me is like, I wouldn't want to manipulate people to the point that they were robots, because that wouldn't be fun. fun, because if someone's just obeying you because they're your robot and they can't control it, it kind of loses the excitement, you know what I mean? So I would want to do it so that they wouldn't even realize that I was in their head. It was all just subversive. They didn't even have the slightest inkling that I was in there messing with their psyche, or whatever the case may be. So that would be my superpower. And my one wish would be that I'm gonna redeem it for another superpower, just to go against what I said earlier. I want to be able to shoot fire out of my hands. I'm gonna be the smartest goddamn mofo on this earth, messing with people's heads, and meanwhile distracting them all with my wonderful fire tricks. I'll probably get some sort of like David Copperfield deal going in Vegas. It's gonna be a great thing for me. I'm really looking forward to it. Don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Thanks for calling me douche, ruining my video. Anyway, I guess that's all I have to say for now. This went a little bit longer than I anticipated. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a rating, because that would be great. And yeah, I'll talk to you later, and I love you.